sign belt. Let me make sure that I can see myself here as it comes up, and I can, gotta back up, like and share it. Yep, there we are. Let me make sure my people from my page get in here. Here's today's much drier update, giving you guys kind of a little teaser there. It's much drier in terms of the air, at least, and the weather. I don't expect any rain or anything like that today. All right, let's see. We've got about 16 people. That's over a dozen, and for a weekday with nothing going on, that's pretty good. So we'll go ahead and get started for today. And again, trying not to take up too much of your time, just a quick update in case you happen to miss the sunrise show. Of course, you can always catch the midday show coming up as well. And watch, I believe, whatever I posted on the app if you have that, which is pretty cool, little tool. So anyway, today's weather headlines: humidity relief is here, or at least almost here. We were off to our coolest start in a while this morning. Some areas as cool as about 11 degrees cooler than it was by that time yesterday, which outside of our 1 to 2 degrees here and there each afternoon, we really hadn't cooled at all in a good week or more. I would say upwards of 2 weeks we haven't seen significant cooling. So definitely cool to do that. Noticeably cool to not quite noticeably cool out there in many locations. Today, later on, will be hot with the capital HOT, but far less humid. So it will feel considerably better than it did yesterday, which was just as hot and miserably humid. And you probably felt that if you did enjoy any of your Memorial Day festivities. I hope you were able to get outside and do that, but just did so safely, because that kind of heat can really sneak up on you. And things have been rather dry recently, but we will see the return of the summer showers, which are those ones that just kind of randomly pop up. We have a pretty good idea when they'll show up, as far as a nice little few hours. Sometimes we can get a little bit better than that if there's some sort of low pressure weakness or something that we can pick up on in the area, but really it's just that upper level high that kind of kept things tamped down is weakening, so we could see the return of those this week, and we're expecting to. But let's talk about yesterday, which measured at 96. My forecast was about 94. I had it as high as 95 in the days prior to that. We knew that Sunday, Monday, and as we began the week, Tuesday, one of those was going to end up being the hottest day of the year so far. And so far, that's yesterday at 96. Now, that is measured, I believe, at the airport, and I do believe the airport tends to run about 1 to 2 degrees hotter than it actually is because of all the tarmac around there. It absorbs the heat during the day faster, and of course you've got exhaust of things going around there. So I do think it ran a little hot there, but that's the official measurement, so that's what's going to go down in the record books, which didn't get near the record hottest day, but we did at 74 degrees for our low beat the warmest low for the 27th of May. So we did get off to a pretty warm start, and I don't generally get into long-term forecasting like, oh, this summer is going to be this or this hurricane season is going to be that. But I do think, looking at trends and things that I do trust, we're in for a pretty humid, consistently humid summer. Last year was all about like the heat domes and the air temperature being high with our normal humidity. I believe this year it will be more consistently humid, but hopefully not as hot. We'll see at that. So you can see that both of those were well above the average as we went. There was a record, 98. We were pretty close to that actually. But a pretty hot and humid day. The heat index getting up, measuring in Hattiesburg up to about 105. I saw as much as about 110, 111 showing up, like in Oak Grove, but I believe those weather reporting stations must be more humid than the areas around it, like too near a source of water or something like that, because they were noticeably higher than the areas around it. Which happens sometimes when you're not getting official reporting stations. For today, my forecast of 95 is, of course, well above the average, but it will feel much better than yesterday did because of that lower humidity out there. Not expecting to see those ridiculous heat indices. You can see that's, of course, below the record by a handful of degrees, which would be great. I don't want to hit triple digits, certainly not in late May, but it looks like they did in 1911, so that was a pretty hot year for us. Today's low, which dropped to about 71 for Hattiesburg, is still above average, but that is a decrease on yesterday by about 4 to 5 degrees, so feeling pretty good, I would say, in many locations this morning. Right now, though, in South Central Regional Medical Center, it's 82, feels like 85, so there is still a slight heat index there as that humidity continues to drop. You can see it's beautiful out there with all the sunshine, clouds off in the distance, not expecting any overhead for a little while. You can see, looks like they're mowing the field out here, which is already looking pretty good. So doing a good job there. Good to get it done this early because, again, 82 feels like 86 at Jones College in Ellisville. Just that slight little heat index there. 84 feels like 88 in Columbia. Columbia, one of those areas that tends to run a little bit more humid than the areas around it. Likely because of where that reporting station is, and the Pearl River is very close to there. So that does make at least a little sense. So for the rest of the day, expect it to get up to about 95 by about 4 o'clock, and that's when we'll start seeing wispy cloud cover making its way in. Eventually that cloud cover thickens into the night to about partly cloudy skies, and it'll pretty much stay there through the night and slowly increase into tomorrow ahead of some of those showers we were talking about. A low pressure weakness moving just close enough, plus the heating of the day will give us those afternoon showers. For the muggy meter right now, we're looking at sticky, 69 degrees. Now, if you remember this time yesterday, or even by sunrise yesterday, it was sitting in the miserable upper to mid 70s, so that is an improvement, but I do expect it will continue to go down as we head into the afternoon, expecting to see at least some mid to upper 50s dew points. Now that is a forecast. It may not actually get that low, but that's what we're expecting to see, which will feel great. But again, it's still going to be about 95 degrees with that. So in direct sunlight, it's still going to be a pretty scorching day, but going to feel much better. That drier air sticks around into tomorrow morning, even into the late morning. But after that, I'm going to stop showing this because it comes right back. That humidity does not stay low for long. So the current heat index now is as high as 91 in Lumberton and Brooklyn. See Oak Grove right there, which had that very high heat index yesterday, not showing a ridiculous one right now. So maybe that one did verify. It just happened to be a lot hotter than the areas around it, which is what I was talking about. There would be some localized areas, I believed, even since last Friday, that would climb up to about 110 on Monday. So certainly possible, but I'm just a little suspect on it. But again, expect that heat index to lower a little bit more and really basically be the air temperature as we head through the heat of the afternoon, which will be quite hot again because of that lack of cloud cover. You can see some tops of some storms off towards the west. I expect those to largely miss us to the southwest, but we will get some of the tops of those, which is what all that's about there. We'll see that quick pop of cloud cover, and that may keep us that little degree cooler. The model's going with 94, always trying to price us right me. With my high being 95, you can see that rain missing us to the southwest there going through Louisiana, and those clouds again kind of drifting overhead. Then as we head through the night, it thins some, and then those clouds start coming back, and that's when we end up with that next little area of low pressure getting just close enough to bring us some showers, which look a lot more aggressive, I believe, than they will end up being, and more widespread. They've been much, I'll have to see if that trend continues, because they've been much more broken than that. But that little blob of moisture will pass through, and I don't believe it'll last too long. Like Wednesday's not expected to be a real rainy day, but it is going to bring us the first active weather we've had in a little bit there. You can see that's causing some real problems for Dallas, and right now it looks like about 1 to 2 tornadoes kind of mixed in there. As that storm again drifts towards the southwest. I expect we'll get that cloud cover, but those storms should miss us, will miss us. Looking pretty good there. As we zoom in, well, I didn't mean to zoom in, I had to stay with the southeastern there. I'll have to fix that for the midday show. So there's that blob, again going to pass us to the south, but I just wanted to let this run and show you how we just kind of see these quick little pops here of activity generally during the hottest part of the day. Saturday is when we see that kind of become a little bit more consistent, leading into Sunday morning, which will then get back up a little bit as we wait for the front to catch up to us as we head into Tuesday. So we're just kind of seeing that summertime pattern returning where we end up with a decent amount of afternoon clouds and eventually the possibility of some showers, which is still pretty low through tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday, and then goes up as we see that front get a little bit closer through the weekend and eventually the start of next week, which as you know, anytime a front's coming in, you're seeing that southerly flow there is going to make things more humid as well. So we're about as dry as we're going to get tonight, and then we'll start working our way slowly back up, pretty much where we were to start off last week. Which is dew points closing in on the upper 60s. So more humid than it should be, but not ridiculous. You can see that the models here aren't picking up on too much rain. Again, I couldn't give more than really a 20% chance on any given day. We'll end up with that being slightly higher or slightly lower. Right now it's going with Friday basically having nothing, which does make sense with an upper level ridge I'm kind of seeing in the area, but also you still can't rule those out either because it's still got pretty much everything it needs in the heat of the day to get a shower to develop. And if that ridge is any weaker than it looks, and it's not very pronounced as it is, definitely could get those showers developing. So pretty much a flat 20% once we head into tomorrow afternoon. I expect tomorrow to be a bit more cloudy thanks to that moisture that'll be available. The showers will still be largely heating based, so they shouldn't last long into the afternoon. 20% to me is about a fifth of your day. A couple of hours in the afternoon is pretty much what each of these means, with Saturdays being slightly longer thanks to everything kind of moving in there, and Saturday and Sunday being the rainiest days of the week. And I'm not even sold on that 60-50. I kind of feel like one of those is going to go down, one of them is going to go maybe up a little bit, or at least stay the same, with either Saturday night or Sunday morning ending up the more rainy period, depending on when that gets a little bit closer. After that, you can see our morning temperature starting to go back into the 70s. That's ahead of that front moving in, which looks like it'll come in Tuesday, but we still can't rule out those showers as that front gets a little bit closer on Monday either. So enjoy today, which again will just be very hot, but beautifully sunny, and with that lower humidity. Especially if you can get out in the evening or towards twilight and the overnight hours, it's going to feel vastly different than many of our evenings have recently. So if you can go for an evening walk or something, that would be a good thing to do. So I will go ahead and let you go for the day. Again, didn't have too much to talk about anyway, but just wanted to let everyone know that today is our low humidity day, so please enjoy it. Again, if you want to follow me for the latest updates or even just to chat about weird stuff sometimes I get involved in these chats on these stories we post, and especially on Twitter/X there, I get a little bit more into the stuff that I like Star Wars debates and stuff like that, which I found a lot of viewers out there like. Some Star Wars cosplayers I met at a Lego festival not too many weeks ago down on the coast were from up here, and that was pretty cool. I wouldn't mind joining up with you guys and being a stormtrooper sometimes. So I'll go ahead and let you guys go again. Follow me on the socials if you just want to connect. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you on midday.